Outlander. Alright, I have been sick. I have been very sick. I've also taken, like, a fistful of allergy medicine, so this episode's gonna be awesome! This is Season 2, Episode 3. Its title is Useful Occupations and Deceptions, which sounds like a title of an Orphan Black episode, but let's do it. Okay, this is bad. My closed captioning isn't working. I hope I can understand them. Alright, I fixed the captions, because that was not gonna work. I don't know if they're speaking in another language, or if it's their accent, or what. I need servants like that. I can't get out of bed in the morning, and they're dressing him.
Have the servants search the house last night for a wee wooden snake about yon size.
He wants his toy.
Give my regards to your ladies. Tea.
Gotta love tea.
I mean, I know he doesn't trouble you in that way.
What's going on?
A Frenchman's thing, you know, they put it right between a lady's legs and then right up inside her.
Oh my gosh. Don't laugh at the poor girl.
Seaford, in Sussex.
Oh, remembering things.
Jonathan Wolverton Randall.
Married Miss Mary Hawkins.
Oh, intrigue!
I hope I didn't upset you.
That delicate little flower is gonna get wrecked by Blackjack.
I was faced with the terrible knowledge that Frank's very existence now depended on Jack, living for at least another year.
Well, you should have thought of that earlier, girl.
Suzette, did I not ask you to mend?
What's happening? Suzette is in the middle of something right now.
Something, milady?
Oh my. Murtaugh, she needed to mend something. Priorities.
Since when did you become such a priggish scold when it comes to frolicking between the sheets?
You can mind your bloody business.
Whoa.
And remember who runs this house.
Whoa. Whoa. Claire's stepping up. You should tell Murtaugh the thing. Tell him about the time-traveling thing.
Jack Randall is alive.
Or tell him about that thing, too, I guess.
I'm living a lie.
You already were living a lie. This chess game would seem a lot more interesting if I could see the board and see what they're actually doing.
The game is yours.
Well, he won, I guess. Okay.
We are fair.
Dude, that guy doesn't like you because you burnt his ship, but he pretty.
My life has got more and more conventional by the day.
Oh, boo-hoo!
As I suppose
Things are
mine.
too awesome and boring in my life. I could be, like, chased and threatened with death every other day, or have servants.
If you have ever...
I don't want servants.
medical science, Jamie will not like this.
He'll be happy if I'm happy.
That's just what she says when she goes and does stuff she knows he won't be happy about. Now, either that is a tiny nun, or Claire is giant. Claire's like, I have servants and such a sweet life. I need more to do. I'm gonna empty chamber pots.
What conceivable use could a urine sample be?
Did you just taste the urine sample?
Sugar sickness.
I get sugar sickness sometimes, but I just eat a lot of candy. And it's technically more of a food coma.
I have already secured the vast majority of funds for our course.
Wait, what? How?
Funds nearly sufficient to finance our entire campaign.
Who gave this drunk toddler money?
I cannot tell you how happy I am.
Don't touch his face. This just went sideways. Claire, where are you? It is super late. You didn't call or anything.
I'm so glad you're here. I had the most wonderful day.
I cleaned so many chamber pots.
She's not going to make it easy for me. But when she saw me taste the urine...
When anyone sees you taste urine, they're gonna take notice. Claire, you're way too jazzed about all this.
What's wrong?
You're with child, for one.
And you drank pee while you're pregnant, so that's another thing.
I will only treat patients that have injury, not diseases.
You don't know that? You taste pee-pee, girl!
I need to feel a sense of accomplishment. I need a purpose.
You're a mother, girl. That's enough.
Tell me, how will land-sick boils and tasting urine help us to save Scotland?
True.
I assure you, there was no indulging involved.
You indulged in a sip of urine.
That makes me feel good. Gives my day meaning.
What about me?
What about you, Jamie?
When do I get to find meaning in my day?
Jamie, calm down. Body painting. It's like that TV show about body painting. Who's this little kid who keeps stealing coins? Because I like him. Somebody grab that kid. Jamie either runs very fast or can teleport.
John? Doing what?
Stealing! Follow, you little kid. You stole his little snake thing. That's right. Just bow a little bit.
Madame, vous avez de très très beaux seins.
Whoa, kid, I like you. You're forward. Jamie, did you adopt the kid and not tell us?
That's a good plan.
Yeah, I know. I came up with it. Let's decipher some stuff, man.
Bouton, à la bouche, bouton.
That dog is like a doctor.
It's not infected.
No? You see?
Ew, don't squeeze at that.
Where no surface symptoms were visible. To human senses, at least.
That dog is an amazing doctor. I'd go to him. Oh, don't cut into it. No.
Forceps.
Oddly enough, I watch tons of YouTube videos of them, like, lancing things as a hobby. That looks pretty accurate.
Can you show me what you were doing is neither illegal nor dangerous?
No, but can you do it anyway?
I can assure you, if my husband is asking, and it's for a good reason.
Way to sidestep the question.
But I'm afraid his music is not the sort to endure. Clever, but no heart.
Wow.
The key is the key.
It makes sense. Well, I'm glad they could crack that code, because I'd have been lost. Cracking codes, though, it's kind of like a video game. So I can totally get on board with that.
Yes. Sandra.
I said you come out of it.
It was like a Scooby-Doo episode. They're like, oh my gosh, we figured it out.
Sandringham, lass. If Jamie sits down with him and his secretary, you know what will happen.
Yeah, so y'all better get on that.
You need to tell him, and you need to tell him now.
Tell him when he's happy.
To my wife. Who's always there when I need her.
You should be there for him and tell him before he has a breakdown.
I just love seeing you so happy.
No, Claire, bad! Murtaugh does not approve. Dude, Claire, just tell him the thing. So this episode starts, Claire wakes up because Jamie just got home and he's being loud, but he's been working like non-stop trying to like kill this rebellion before it starts. He says the prince wants to meet with the Minister of Finance and he's been delaying it for a long time, but it's inevitable, it has to happen. Claire has to go meet some ladies for tea and Jamie's like, you should rest, grow the baby, and just go drink tea. He's also missing that little wooden snake thing and he's like, be a deer and find it while you sit at the house all day. Then Claire's at tea with that one chick that like waxed her business. They're sitting there with that girl Mary and she's all, freaking out. She don't want to marry someone because she doesn't know how babies are made and assumes just French people do it that way and that it's rude or something. She's like, you wouldn't get it. You have a very sweet gentleman husband. He would never try to make babies with you. Claire's friend is laughing at her and like, where are you from? The moon? And the chick says where she's from. And then Claire's like, oh crap, I'm remembering things. Claire remembers Frank had a book of like his family tree. And then she remembers, oh crap, the person who marries Blackjack is Mary. So Claire starts freaking out about the timeline and realizes, okay, Blackjack of course has to be alive because he has to, have a kid with Mary to have Frank. So Blackjack has to be alive for at least another year. She's freaking out about what all that means and, what she's gonna have to tell Jamie, if she's even gonna tell him, all that stuff. Claire comes home and she's, like, clearly in a state. She's, like, in no mood for anyone's crap, and the servant's like, hey, this piece of lace was in the kitchen, and she's like, I told my freaking maid to mend that, where is she? She goes into, like, her maid's quarters, and her maid's totally, like, smushing with Murtaugh. Claire's like, fine, whatever, I'll mend this crap myself, and she's sitting there just, like, angry sewing. Murtaugh comes in and she just yells at him and he's like, whatever, I'm leaving. She's like, no, wait, I'm sorry, I'm kind of dealing with things. And then she tells him that Blackjack's still alive. She's like, what do? Do I tell Jamie? And he's like, don't tell Jamie, because Jamie's gonna go run off and try and get vengeance and get himself killed. They kind of agree to, keep the secret. And Murtaugh's like, I'm glad we sorted this out, but I'm gonna go back to banging your maid. She mentions birth control and he's like, what is that? I'm old-timey, what is that? Jamie's playing chess with that Minister of Finance dude, and he asks a favor. He's like, hey, you're gonna go meet with the prince, but, like, don't give him any money. Because, like, the Scottish people are gonna, like, full on die, and they're not ready for a rebellion, so, like, don't give him any money. Claire goes and meets that Master Raymond dude, but while she walks up, he's talking to that one dude with the pretty face who Claire got his ship burnt, and she's like, wait a minute, I thought you guys weren't friends. And he's like, no, we totally aren't, we're just cordial. Claire's there to buy birth control for her maid, and so while she's talking to the dude, she mentions that her life's kind of boring, what with all the servants and the great life she leads, and how she wants to find a purpose. Disregarding the fact that she's trying to change history, she needs to find a purpose. Master Raymond dude is like, okay, well, there's like a charity hospital, you can go help them, you seem to know your crap. Claire goes with Myrta to the hospital, and he's like, Jamie's not gonna like this. And she's like, no, he'll like it because I'll be happy, so he'll be happy. You know he ain't gonna like it, girl. You just saying that to convince yourself. Claire goes in there, she starts working. She sees this chick who's sick and has like a bottle of urine sitting by her, and Claire's like sniffing it and tasting it. Then she diagnoses the chick with like diabetes or sugar sickness, and then she kind of gets some mad respect from the old nun lady, so she gets to work there some more and she feels all happy about herself. Like, yeah, there's a bit of pride in being good at medicine, but there's not a whole lot of pride in the fact that you tasted a stranger's urine, Claire. Meanwhile, Jamie's meeting with the prince and the Minister of Finance dude, and you see this little kid who's like walking around picking pockets. That little kid comes up later, but what's important is the prince tells the Minister of Finance he already has, like, wealthy backers who are going to help him. He just needs a little bit more money, and if they help out, Britain and France will become allies, and Jamie's sitting there like his head's about to explode because he's like, holy crap, this is going poorly. So after, like, all that, Jamie comes home, and he's, like, in a bad mood, and he wants to talk to Claire, and she ain't even there. He waits for, like, a super long time, and then finally she comes home, and she's like, oh my gosh, Jamie, I had the best day ever. I played with pus and, like, pee and stuff. Which, first of all, is not probably the best way to sell what you did that day. Like, she should be like, I helped people, but no, she just, like, dives into the fact that she was, like, elbow deep in pus all day. Jamie ain't too happy about that. He's like, first of all, Claire, you're pregnant, probably shouldn't be drinking strangers' pee. Second of all, I had a rough day and I wanted to talk about it and you weren't here. She's like, I wanted to find my purpose. And he's like, oh my gosh, Claire. Time travel. Changing history. You got a purpose. Jamie's really mad about it because from his point of view, yeah, it's nice to help people, but also you should think of the baby first. And, you know, altering the timeline is kind of more pressing. So he goes to get a drink, and then while he's in there, he sees that little kid is, like, picking pockets, and he's like, So he corners the little kid. The little kid starts running. He chases him through the streets, catches him, and is like, hey, little bro, I'm gonna hire you to steal some crap. So, you're coming home with me. Claire's, like, tossing and turning in bed. She hears a crash, so she goes downstairs. There's a little kid sitting at her table, and she's like, who the F are you? The little kid, like, compliments her boobs, which is what you should just always do when you meet a woman. Jamie comes in and talks about how the kid's gonna, like, have a bath and have his own room, and Claire's like, what is going on? Jamie says that the kid is a pickpocket, and he hired him to steal letters to and from the prince so they can kind of, like, figure out what's going on. Then it shows Jamie and Myrta, and they're, like, digging through all the letters the kid's stolen, and they're like, some of this stuff doesn't make sense, there might be a code in it, there's also, like, a sheet of music, and there could be a code in that, but the code might be in German. Jamie's like, okay, Myrta, maybe ask around for, like, a music teacher or someone that can speak German. And Myrta's like, I know someone, but you might not like it. Then it shows Claire is working at the hospital, and there's this guy who's, like, sick, and they can't really figure out why. The head nun chick is like, hang on, calm down, I got this. And then she calls her dog in, and her dog sniffs around, and her dog figures out the guy's got, like, this weird, like, abscessy thing in his leg, and I'm like, dude, Dr. Dog, coolest thing ever. Jamie shows up at the hospital, and he's like, hey, that old nun lady knows music and stuff, right? Can she translate this? The nun chick is looking at it, and she's like, mentions she knows Bach, which is kind of funny, because she's like, no one knows this guy, his music ain't gonna last. She looks through the music, and she realizes that the notes have been changed, and, like, the key that it's in has been changed a lot throughout it, so they're like, oh my gosh, the key is the key to cracking this code. So Jamie decodes everything, and they read it out, and someone's saying that they're gonna give, like, 40,000 pounds, and they're like, that's not enough to fund the war, but it's enough to, like, maybe get more people to throw money in, maybe to get more money, maybe get this ball rolling. And at the end of the code, there's just the letter S, and they're like, S, who is that? Oh my gosh, Sandringham, Duke of Sandringham. Jamie's all really excited because they kind of like know their enemy now. They know who they're dealing with. So he's like, you know what? Drinks. We need drinks. Murtaugh's like, hey, Claire, if Jamie goes and meets with Sandringham, he's totally gonna find out Blackjack's alive, so you should probably tell him right now. Jamie comes back in, he's all excited, he's like toasting to Claire, and then she like has her opening to tell him, and he's even like, whoa, Claire, what's wrong? And she's like, I'm just so happy you're happy, and then hugs him, and then Murtaugh's got this face like, I do not approve. And then credits. Dude, Claire, you had an opening. Things are gonna be way worse. Again, which I'm kind of noticing is like the format of this show. The first few episodes of the season, if not the whole first half of the season, isn't that crazy wild with things happening. It's mostly just building to like blow your mind at the end. And so I'm like fully aware a lot of these characters, like the little kid and like all them, are characters that are going to be like big in the future, but we're just kind of like setting the groundwork for them now. Cause like, dude, when Jamie finds out Blackjack's alive, stuff is gonna happen, isn't it? First of all, the prince is like literally an intoxicated toddler. Like, he just seems like he's always had a little too much to drink and is like 7. Also, that one guy that like his ship got burnt because of smallpox, he's cute. What's gonna happen with him? Like, I have a feeling I'm gonna really hate him, but until I do hate him, I'm just gonna enjoy looking at him. So what do you guys think about this one? Because I think my allergy medicine kicked in. I don't know really what to think because there's so much cold medicine going through my system right now. But if I forgot anything or left anything out, drop a comment. Don't forget to do things. Rate, comment, subscribe. I'll catch you guys later. Until next time.